Alright guys, welcome back to Legends of Evil, where I spotlight villains from video games, books, TV shows, movies, animes, and cartoons. I don't do comics because my good friend not Wolfman the Impaler, you're a good buddy, Wolfman, but I said your name by mistake. I meant F.W. Waller. F.W. Waller, my good friend Ian, he does a lot of comic book villain spotlights, and I think he does them really good. So I do all the other villain mediums. And today I'm going to be talking about a group of villains that have been with me since my childhood, and I've been meaning to talk about them for a long time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to be talking about Team Rocket. Yes, Team Rocket. Now, Team Rocket, as most of you guys would know, has been right from the start along with Ash in Pokemon. And the team consists of Jessie, James, and Meowth. The Pokemon Jessie and James use, Meowth excluded because he's just part of the group, are really, they kind of change just like the rest of the Pokemon do in this series. Now, they first appeared in here they first came off like a threat. Like, they were big, menacing villains, and they didn't really think twice about getting Pikachu until they got their ass handed to them by Pikachu, and and then that started their whole Captain Ahab-esque obsession with stealing Pikachu, which, in all retrospect, hasn't been doing so well for them. They haven't been doing so well in that category. Now, the big thing with this is that they are a group of villains that I've probably loved more than the main Pokemon team itself. Whereas, Ash stays young forever, which I still don't understand. And, he always has these new companions. He's not the Doctor. And he always gets new Pokemon. For the most part, Team Rocket stayed consistent. Now, let me say this. I haven't been watching Pokemon since, I want to say till when they left Johto. That's when I kind of dropped off, because it was kind of consistent. But then, after, Johto, I came back when I think he had May and Dawn, not Dawn, but I think he had Max and May, and what's her name, May, right? He had them in, no, that wasn't Johto. Was it? Frick, I don't know. But, yeah, more or less, it was a while ago, I'll say that. It was a long while ago. But I digress. With, excuse me, with Team Rocket is that these guys in their first episode came off as a threat. However, we quickly learned that these guys are the Pokemon equivalent to the Three Stooges. They're more at arguing with themselves, and that's actually, no, let me back up. It's more like, instead of the Three Stooges, it's like you're watching a trio, if you will, of Wile E. Coyotes. That is exactly what it is. No, really, you can make the Wile E. Coyote comparison with them. They make all these great inventions, they have all this different tech and stuff at their disposal, and they know how to use it. The problem is that the person they're trying to get usually outsmarts them, and they're usually too smart for their own good, or too stupid. You see, their intelligence fluxes in and out constantly. So in that regard, they both triumph and fail, but let's face it, the Team Rocket group in and of itself is very dynamic, and you do feel heartbreak for them. And for the most part, they've saved the world more times than they've helped stop it, even though they're part of one of the most evil organizations in the Pokemon universe. These guys have usually saved the world more often than they've destroyed it, which is kind of something where, let me say this right now. I've kind of felt for a while, and not a lot of people agree with me on this, but there's like a part of me that wants to see just Jessie, James, and Meowth just go good and travel with Ash and Pikachu. Like, they're just like, well, we kind of suck at this, so how about we just follow the kid around? Let's face it, the only five characters that you usually see consistently throughout Pokemon: Ash, Pikachu, Jessie, James, Meowth. Those 5. So why not make them a traveling group? I mean, Ash usually has 1 or 2, 2 companions with him all the time while he's traveling around through time and space in the TARDIS. Oh, wait. Why not make it Jessie and James? I'm just saying that, I think at this point, they really play off each other very well. I mean, there are points where where Team Rocket has to put aside their need to get Pikachu, and they usually team up with Ash and whatever group he's in. There have been points where they've actually saved, and I remember one episode, here's a good example of them helping out Ash and his group, where they were going to capture Pikachu after he fought Raichu in Lieutenant Surge's gym. And Pikachu was so badly beaten that Ash wanted to use a evolution stone. Thunderstone, yeah, I think that was it. And Meowth, who can translate Pokemon, translates what Pikachu is saying, and it tells him that, he translates to Jessie and James, who are watching and about to capture Pikachu while he's down, and he tells them the whole spiel that Pikachu says to Ash, who I assume knows what he says, and they're so uplifted because Pikachu wants to fight on his own terms. He doesn't need help. He thinks it's a crutch. And the Team Rocket is so moved by that they give him support throughout the rest of the episode. There are even points where there was even a point where I remember this because I remember this episode where the Pokemon and Team Rocket and Ash's group got lost on an island, and they encountered giant robot Pokemon. Yes, this is an episode. And Meowth, Ekans, and Koffing travel with Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, and I think a few other Charmander's there too, and a few other Pokemon, and they're traveling around the island, and they all kind of just get along. That's the same thing with on the Team Rocket side, where they have to work with Ash, Misty, and Brock to get off this island. And usually they just play off each other. So going back to what I originally said, why not just have them at this point? Because from what I understand, they're trying to be more evil, and I don't understand because they're idiots. And let's face it, these guys have also done fourth wall breaking to the max, and they usually get so ahead of themselves that it's not even funny at some point. Well, actually, no, I take that back. It is funny. But at this point, I kind of want to make the argument of, just make them good. Just make them good guys, still have them bumbling around, and have them travel with Ash. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, getting back on track with the other stuff. Now, like I've said, they've had multiple Pokemon at their disposal. The first 2 were Ekans and Koffings, who later evolved into Weezing and Arbok. And of course, I don't think Meowth counts because he doesn't really do much. He doesn't really do much except yell at them and call them stupid, although he does occasionally fight. Now, then they went on to, they had Victory Bell, I'm trying to remember, they've had Dustox, and here's the sad thing, too, there are some heartbreaking moments with Team Rocket. There's some real, it's really kind of the feels. A good one is the origin story for Meowth. Meowth's origin story is that he wanted to talk like humans. And you see through this entire episode of his struggle to learn and talk like humans. And he got to the point where he became so human that the other Pokemon around him didn't accept him. Yeah, it hurts. And then you had James's origin, which was he was born in a family of riches, but he left all that behind, partly because of the woman he was forced to marry as a complete psycho bitch. And then you had Jessie, who grew up from, she had to claw her way to get everything she wanted, and then they all just kind of found each other through random acts of fate. Well, they found Meowth, but Jessie and James were paired together in the Team Rocket training program, or I'm paraphrasing, but I know it was called something else. But yeah, these guys have some serious hurt. When they had to finally give up Arbok and Weezing, they fight a Tyranitar, not without Pokemon, just Meowth, Jessie, and James, getting the shit kicked out of them, while Weezing and Arbok are trying to get these family of Koffings and Ekans out of the harm's way, while they're getting the crap pounded out of them by a Tyranitar. And then there's another point where Jessie, who had a Dustox, Sorry, lost my place, but yeah, as I was saying, yeah, that's a very touching scene where Jessie has to give up her dust talks, and I'm like, the feels. But yeah, this group has been together through thick and thin. No matter, because I think at this point they're kind of like, well, we're the only people who like each other, and that's not saying much because these two, they won't double cross one another because the group in of itself, these guys are loyal to one another, and I think they're the perfect representation of partners in crime. They're the perfect example of partners in crime, and you can't ask for it any other way. These guys are, they always prepare for trouble and make it double. And that's what I always liked about them. They were always consistent, and also the fourth wall joke. I think they were the only characters who knew they were in a because there was actually, and this video was taken down, but someone collected all the fourth wall breaking jokes that they had, and like one of my favorites, and I can hardly remember what it was about, but it was Jesse and James arguing, and then Meowth just cuts in and goes, "Stick to the script and get back to work." Anyway, but yeah, this group, I'm like, if they won't travel with Ash, if anything, I haven't watched Pokemon in years, but I would gladly drop everything and watch a Team Rocket spinoff. No, really, I would, and admit it, you would want to see a Team Rocket spinoff as well. You guys would just drop everything to watch a Team Rocket spinoff. Don't lie, you would. Because they have everything, the comical characters. I think they can make their own supporting characters. It has a lot of potential. And yeah, you could have because there are some points where they're not even trying to get Pikachu. There are just points where they're like, we just need to get food. Because half their money goes to either, they even have to make their own money, and the money they do make has to go to repairing their balloon or whatever form they're using, transportation they're using, or or inventing new gadgets that inevitably blow up in their face and send them blasting off again. But yeah, these guys were always a ton of fun, and I kind of feel bad that I haven't watched in a while, but from what I understand, I'm not missing much. But yeah, so that's pretty much my spotlight on Team Rocket. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't really go further in depth with them, and I've talked a bit about their lives. I just talk about cliff notes for these characters, but once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm out.